tell the music is loud already. Let me pull it down. What's up? Block Creator Steam in the house. Stack Labs, pretty sick. Just gonna leave this chart up and just talk for a while. Bonnet, what's up? And 7, Javier, Xavier, depending on where you hail from. You've done it. I'm not Cosmos Maxi. You know what, Adastra? First off, go blue. Check out the mug. I knew what you meant. Every time I learn a little bit more about Cosmos, I'm like, I don't think I own enough. And that's not usually how I feel, okay? Like, usually I get into Atom or I get into something new and I'm like, all right, I can see a narrative here where this is going to carry and make me money. Like, that's great. Crypto God, what's up? Nice emoji. And every single time I look at Cosmos and learn something new or watch a podcast or like ask Highlander a question, because I ask him shit all the time. And I just get more bullish. Like, it's unbelievable. Yeah, it feels good for sure. It's just, it literally, my gifts aren't working. Mike Jones. It's so good. And it's so undervalued, I think, is the crazy part. And I'm going to pull up market cap rank here. And I'm going to do some like super ignorant shit on this stream. But you know what? We deserve it. No. When Stack DAO, when Jared DAO, you know. Yeah, we got to get Highlander on again soon for sure. The thing is, he always drops such fire, you know. I'm not sure you guys can handle it. So as you can tell, we're all financially devastated with this dip on Atom. You know, I was thinking about the other day, somebody brought up this because, like, I think we all remember that day. You know, that we had just unbelievable confluence of reasons why we could get long right here. It triggered, I mean, it ripped to $36 and we were like, this is it. This is it. We're all going to be, we're all going to be rich. And then we just got absolutely whacked. So like, if you think about it, this was like that first real drop in December. So that was right leading into this, right? We just got like a massive, you know, shit of itself. On Bitcoin, and it just ruined our momentum in Atom, which sucked like badly. But it was an opportunity to acquire more, and you know, some people saw it when it was happening, other people saw it later. But it's like very, very easy to see the strength that Atom has had, and I can't stop looking at this. And thinking that it should be so much more. Like, I don't think Juno, but let me add Cosmos in here. So like, this is the lowest hanging fruit, man. It is the lowest hanging fruit. If you look at the things that are being developed, yes, it is the Juno Maxi shit. You're right. And I listened to a stream that Zaki was on yesterday or today, and he was talking about liquid staking for Atom. and what it should do from a tokenomics perspective and what it should do to like propel the whole cosmos forward. And I literally sat there to myself going, I don't want to sell anything to buy more, but I think I'm going to have to, right? DJ, is this the Juno Max chat? It is. It is. So, I mean, just about the entire eco, this is the lowest hanging fruit. Really, the easiest target we could have. And by the way, if you remember, I did this not that long ago. Can I explain Liquid Stake? You know what? I can give you like a 50,000 foot view on what Liquid Stake is, but even then, I'm not sure I can do it justice. DJ, bought at 13 when you shuttled on Kaz's stream. Bro, good for you, man. Because like I came in super hot talking about that, and you guys didn't know who the fuck I was. But hopefully it made you at least do some research and decide to get in. Because anybody who bought that day has literally like not even seen a red day. You know? Has not even really seen a red day. It's crazy. I feel for my Adam Stars LP. Yeah, it was stupid. I don't want more Adam. I want more stars. But anyway, when we were talking about this a while ago, we talked about Adam flipping Dot. Do you remember what the Adam price would have been? But like before this rinse out, right? Remember, now Dot has gotten fucking smoked. Let's pull it up. Because it's always fun to kick your friends while they're down. They're not really our friends, but... All right, yeah, so they've gotten absolutely devastated. 55 down to 18. I'm sure they're feeling good about their life choices. And we're back up near highs. So, yeah, bought at 9, dude. Same. I mean, I've been acquiring and compounding all along. It's been nuts. So anyway, if you remember when we had this conversation and I was like, get the fuck out of here about why we don't have a larger market cap than Dot. Like, it doesn't make any sense at all. I say we because I feel like I'm part of the team now, but I'm not. And the target for Adam was like $94 at the time to flip Dot. This is how much Dot has come down. Alex, and what's up, buddy? T on YouTube says, spill the alpha on Liquid Staking, bro. I'm going to. Just like last Friday when I was teasing my thoughts on Bitcoin, and Dale and Kaz were like, fucking, can you just say it? It's all about setting it up. I want to set up the alpha long enough to where you're like, I'm gonna turn this fucker off. Right as you're about to turn it off, I'll tell you. I'm kidding. I'll do it in a second. Okay. So again, it's worth having the conversation about these sorts of things, because remember, like Osmo at 9.1 I think is grossly undervalued. I think Adam's grossly undervalued, and I think we're about to see a major reckoning in terms of leveling up. And it probably, if you've noticed, if you watch this at all, if you've watched Price interacting with Juno and Adam and how things move, it's essentially it's a slight departure from what I've always said about relative strength. And what I've always said about relative strength is like, if you have Yearn on ETH, which I know it's backwards because of the camera, but essentially having YFI on ETH is like having a leveraged form of ETH, right? Of Ethereum. That's not exactly the case anymore, because these are essentially a bunch of separate chains. And while there's no real direct correlation between Adam and Juno, meaning that like, it's not like Juno is only traded by Adam, therefore if one goes down, the other one does. That doesn't happen, but we've seen a relationship where it does. So when I was initially shilling Kaz on this, I was like, you know, I think Adam's grossly undervalued, and I think if Juno does what they say they're going to do, and Adam is appropriately priced, you know, Adam maybe 2 or 3 X's and Juno maybe 20 or 30 X's, right? Like, it's like the leverage on the system, because if if Adam is adopted more thoroughly, I was trying to get Highlander to come on now, but he can't. So We'll do that again later. We'll play a little bit more. So like if Atom is adopted more thoroughly, then the use case for Juno goes through the roof. Remember, interchain DAO, interchain apps, interchain smart contracts. So essentially, like the bet on Juno is on the vision on where this thing goes. And every time a new chain adds IBC, or every time somebody is considering it, or things get larger, things get bigger, it's just better for Juno, right? Should we buy up to 20? I'm in from 13, but waiting on a juicy drop. You know what, man? A lot of people have been waiting on a juicy drop, and this shit hasn't come. By the way, X Gold, thanks for coming. First time chatter. I love to see it. Highlander, so I need you to come on. I want to do a horse shit job of explaining liquid staking, but I want to understand like my understanding of it, okay? And you have to think about liquid staking. Essentially, liquid staking, the best example of it that we all probably know, maybe because we know Kobe, or you've heard me talk about Lido before, is essentially Lido is a liquid staking option for Ethereum, where like if you deposit Ethereum into into a node or whatever, you can do it via Lido, and then you can essentially take loans against that. But there are products that are built on top of Lido that allow you to use to DeFi that shit up. So not only are you gaining your yield for staking, which you get when you stake for ETH 2.0, but you also get essentially whatever is designed on top of that to generate more yield. So when Zaki was talking about shared staking, I'm sorry, with fluid staking or whatever the fuck, there's like a bunch of weird liquid staking, super fluid staking, P-stake, like there's a lot of shit being thrown around. The idea is, if you're allowed to do liquid staking with Atom, you're going to be able to earn Atom from securing, the node, or from delegating to a node validator, but then also be able to use it as like collateral for gaining yield in other DeFi applications, which means more things like Lido and other money markets are going to come and allow it to be used as collateral to where it can go even further, right? So essentially the idea is it's going to create a greater use case for Atom. For people to want to hold Atom and use it as collateral. It's going to be the most secure token on or in the Cosmos, so probably creates demand. But the other thing, if you've actually read about shared staking and what's potentially proposed with Atom moving forward in shared staking meaning that like I can direct my Atom to help secure a nation chain, as an example. I'm not saying that specifically, you'll be able to we're talking about 3, 4, 5 layers of earning yield on staked Atom, okay? So you earn it for staking, you earn it for having it in a DeFi protocol like Lido. You can essentially direct your staking from Atom to another chain where they're going to essentially incent you to help secure their chain, kind of like Curve Wars are, or whatever, like the VE Curve, all that bullshit, where people are like, hey man, if you help us secure this new chain, we'll give you extra. So, and then, oh, by the way, there's additional fees. So you got the fees, you got the yield, you got the DeFi aspect, you have the shared staking aspect. Now you're getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 reasons or 5 ways that you can fucking make money off of just staking Atom. And so I look at shit like this and go, are you fucking serious? Dot's a joke. They don't have any of this. Atom is about to do something absolutely crazy. I don't know what the liquid stake time or timing is. I think it's soon. At least that's what Zaki said in the video that I watched. He's trying. They're not going to rush any bullshit out. But when it does happen, oh my God. So let's roll this back. If we're saying there's going to be 5, 6, maybe even more ways where you're essentially Ponziing on Ponziing, but doing it responsibly, because this is all securing chains, right? If you're able to do that, and the price goes up, because look, this is what big boys want. I know that you all sit there going, I'm making 40% right now when I am using this bullshit protocol on Avalanche or on whatever it is. Whales cannot do that, okay? Whales can't go to illiquid bullshit, because if they buy in, they won't be able to get out. And you go, Jared, well, what does that have to do with anything? Well, I'll tell you exactly what it has to do with anything. If a whale can come in with millions or tens of millions or 9 figures worth of money And all they have to do is buy the ubiquitous token, and they can earn yield on it 3, 4, 5, 6 different ways while participating in a growing atmosphere. And oh, by the way, to say nothing of the fact that there are fucking airdrops on top of this, it's going to attract a level of liquidity that you have never seen. Like, it's going to be like, oh my God, there's 1.2 billion on Osmosis right now. And that's going to be jack shit. Okay. So this is why liquid staking matters, because it entices big boys to come in and want to play in the system. I made the comment on Friday. I made the comment on Thursday, whenever the hell I streamed last. And I was like, every single person I've spoken to about Cosmos said, I fucking love it. They just have a liquidity issue. Okay. I asked Ledger, I asked Sicarius, I asked Primo, I asked a bunch of people that I'm close to, what do you think about this? And not a single one of them was like, it's a shit product. All of them were like, really good stuff, very smart team. They have a liquidity issue. They're like, the tokenomics or the Ponzi-nomics for Atom just don't exist. And even if you ask the team recently, or if you've seen them speak recently, or you ask them, they would say themselves, like, they kind of fucked up on having a real reason to own Atom. Okay, they did, like, no joke. The main reason to own Atom right now is because essentially every single stake drop that's occurred has come from staking Atom. So like, that's the main value prop, and it secures chains. I get that. Get off me. Don't at me, right? Like, I get what you're saying, but beyond that, there isn't a ton there. And this is filling in that piece and would attract liquidity. So let's pull that all back to how we originally started this, which was the Juno Maxi chat, right? Okay, that's where I say, look, I think that Atom's going to flip DOT, which we said would be $70. And I think that Juno has the 10x or 20x possibility on top of that. So let's say that Atom doubles in value and Juno goes twice of what this 270 is. That's how my back of the napkin math gets to $500 Juno. And until this team screws something up, that is my target. Until Juno screws something up and DAO doesn't land and their NFT marketplace doesn't land and Raw and Neta don't work, and as we change our value prop on that, somebody asked about $20 Juno if it's worth it, and I would say Juno is the type of shit you DCA into. Juno is the type of shit you DCA into until something changes. Nothing has changed. In fact, every time they release something new or Wolf tweets on Twitter, I'm like, fuck, I need more Juno. And I have a lot, guys. Rez says Raw and Neta coming. Exactly. So you're going to have Juno, Raw, and Neta all working together, right? And that's all part of the ecosystem. And it looks like they're threaded and set up to nail it. And again, I'm not trying to hype this thing up, but okay, you guys don't see my folders when I drop this shit down. I was like, wait, do you see this? Yeah, stake drops on Juno too. In fact, our boy Highlander is going to be a big part of that with Juno drops. So I'm very excited about that too. But again, there's 30 right now. The analysis I heard when I read in Juno was there's going to be 200 app chains. Okay, app chains, 200 app chains, and we're sitting here being like, is 20 good or maybe 13 or 15? If Juno is the thing that sits between all chains and allows smart contracts and multi-chains at once, $20 is grossly undervalued, and I can't be bothered worrying about fucking price action. Quite frankly, it's why the chart looks like this. Like, get the fuck out of here, man. We just had a massive drawdown. Okay, Juno was not affected by the Fed saying they were going to taper. Okay, that was this right here. That was this right here. It's November 10th. Okay, that was this drop off. They were affected like everybody else, and this is what's happened since. So, you tell me. I don't know. Where am I wrong? Tell me I'm wrong. I know Highlander was in the comments. Thank you for confirming that my liquid staking explanation was not completely stupid. Perhaps only partially stupid. But yeah, I mean, stake drops everywhere. And I said in the chat room this morning, the Stack Labs room, which I think most of you were in. If not, you know, you can find it on my Twitter page. He just messaged Jack for me. Let's go, man. Yeah, I heard him talk the other day. Jack's really nice, really good at explaining things. I'd love to have him on. Yeah, Raw, Neta, DAO, June, totally exactly. And Yeah, dude, I want as much detail on this as I can handle, because like I see a lot of other Cosmos chats out there that talk about a lot about the Cosmos eco, but it doesn't really talk about Juno as much, right? Like I want to be that home. I want to be the Juno home. Okay, can we get those guys on, please? Be great. I swear every time you strain up wanting to get go FOMO more Juno, dude. That's only when I stream. This is going in my head like 20 hours a day. 20 hours a day. I'm like, fuck, do I have enough? And guys, I'm not going to talk about how much I have anymore, because it's poor form. But like, I have a lot. You've heard what I have. It's a lot, and I still don't feel like it's enough, right? And this is to say nothing of the fact that half of supply comes out between now. Well, we'll start in October until the end of September. So again, I don't think we're really in a position to be bearish on Juno. Not that people won't take profits, they will. Not that people aren't trading Juno, they are. In fact, I said in the dip a couple days ago, yeah, I need to sleep more, dude. I said in the dip a couple days ago, if you were to buy something, what would you buy? Well, you buy dips on strength. I was like, look, I would buy Juno at 15 bucks. And if you really want to get out, sell at 19, because it's almost guaranteed to rip back to 17 as soon as there's some sort of upward mobility in the market, right? That is essentially what happens with Juno. And it didn't really even stop at 17. We went straight to 19.30. Guys, we're not even $1 off all-time highs. I think he said he's got 200 Juno and 100K ADA. Boy, well, first off, 100K ADA is still, you know, it's all right. I'd take 100K ADA if you want to give it to me. But no, I have vastly more than that. Daster, no joke. I feel like I've been sick 2 out of the last 3 months. Yeah, I need to sleep more. I need to stop thinking about this stuff so much. But I get so pumped up when I start to think about it. I'm like, fuck. You know, I just can't help myself. I can't help myself. Kava is on now, right? I need somebody to tell me about Kava. There we go, right in the middle. You know what, John? I didn't grab any DNS names because like the only ones I want to grab are like my name, and I don't want to dox my wallet. You know, I probably should grab more. No, dude. I mean, look, I like to do it. I would not do this stuff. Kava throw a nice DeFi for locking up your Atom. Okay, yeah, I need to learn more about it. They've been around forever, so I need to learn more about it. Look, believe me, there's a reason why I don't have a paid Telegram group. There's a reason why, like, I love when you guys sub here because it pumps me up, and I feel like, holy shit, they feel strongly enough about what I do to support me, and I appreciate that. But the reason why I don't have any sort of paid thing is like I want to stream as I see fit, right? And right now I'm super excited, and I don't think I'm going to stop being excited about, you know, Cosmos and Juno. So I'll continue to do that. And don't forget the best meme coin, Huawei. Yeah, dude. You know, Hua was the only thing that got waxed, wasn't it? During that dump. All right, well, this is bullshit. Yeah, that's not right. I'll try to find it, but what page? The page that I'm looking at, that's nomics.com. Yeah. Saw Blockjoy in the chat. Haha, pretty cool. Drafting from DM. So I know enough to know that's a big deal that he joined the chat. Can somebody tell me who that actually is, though? Because that's pretty sweet. And I gave him the old troll level 1000. Yeah, I mean, well, yeah. So that one I know how to do, but I thought there was actually a chart, like there's a Juno chart. So I'll pull that up. I always have to do stuff off screen and then move it on screen because I've doxed my shit way too often. Is the info page down for anybody? Might have to log in. Hold on. Oh, no, there we go. Guys, do you remember just like, you know, oh, he's the actual creator of Juno. Word up. Founder. That works even better. I mean, you guys have only ever told me about Wolf. So we got our co-founders. That's badass. Pull them in. You guys remember when we started talking about this? When we started talking about, like, really started talking about Cosmos and Juno and Osmo. Because look, if that first video I did with Heinlander, which feels now like years ago, where Heinlander and I got together and just kind of slapped together a video, which I think a lot of people have actually viewed. This is awesome. Yeah, no, I love what you guys are doing. So I'm glad you're coming to hang out. I feel like we were early. We were on Cosmos and Adam before it was cool. Now it's pretty cool. But I remember back here when we were like, all right, sweet guys, look, there's now $100 million on Osmo. Okay, now there's 200 million, 400 million. Look where we are now, dude. 1.3 bill. 1.3 bill. Like, that's a hell of a thing. That's a hell of a thing. I mean, very, very impressive. The resiliency is impressive. And in my opinion, like, first off, this disgusts me. And I am disgusted. And I want more. And I'm upset that I don't have more. Thank you for asking. By the way, since I have like a large portion of y'all here, is the ledger thing fixed yet? Because I got like a good amount of stars I still need to claim. Because that'd be nice. I mean, I can't even be bothered to worry about this. So last thing, and then I'll stop, just like straight up being the biggest bull on earth. I tried telling this to my friends when when they asked me about crypto at the top, which is when people ask you about crypto. I said, look, you know, Bitcoin's $60,000. We've had a hard run. There's some signals that aren't great. You probably want to DCA in. And then, you know, that's the right move when you're at highs. You don't want to like, here's my full stack. Let me layer in. You kind of spread your bids out, right? So as Juno, where Juno sits at this moment, is it easy to go, well, let me buy the top? Do I think that's a bad move long term? I do not, because I think this goes exponential. Like I just gave my target, right? Like my target is double that. But the biggest psychological issue with trading, and I don't care who you are, I don't care if you've been doing this for 10 minutes or if you've been doing this for 10 years, okay? The biggest issue in trading, investing, speculating, whatever the hell it is you want to call it, is buying a position and watching it go red on you right away. The research you do at your desk, I'm sitting at my desk, the research you do at your desk, flipping through white papers, looking at market cap targets, you know, saying, I think that there's a positive catalyst coming, I'm going to buy here. The moment you see red on your screen, or you look at, you know, ping or whatever, and it goes red, and you're like, shit, man, I put in 20 grand, it's now worth 18.5. You start going like, did I get my analysis wrong? So my point is, on stuff like Juno, on stuff like, on stars, on things like Osmo, is it, yeah, you want to put your emotion aside, go, look, I'm going to take my yield and I'm just going to buy back in. I'm going to make it daily, make it weekly, make it every 72 hours. Tosh Dev says, Solana's still down, Juno will take over. I have had this thought as well, Tosh. So I was very early into Solana because I have friends who are big into Solana. In fact, Stacked, who is kind of the sponsor of this show, you know, there's people from Alameda that invest in Stacked, okay? So like they told us about Solana stuff early. We got on early. It was amazing when nobody used it, okay? But they built out all these great things that are just kind of sitting on Solana, and now they're like hamstrung with this network that doesn't work. Now, is that fair? No, that's pretty unfair. But they'll fix it eventually. But the point is, it was all built on Rust. How hard would it be to actually pull that over? Because there's plenty of stuff that'd be ready to go, and I'm sure there's investors that would do it. So I don't know if that's just me being like, I wonder if they could do this, because it could explode additional apps on Juno, taking what's kind of like enticing those teams to come over, not stealing, right? Even though you guys are all open source anyway. Like that would be pretty wild. And all we've really been talking about in terms of like the bull case for all this stuff is just Juno doing what they've set out to do, right? You know, it's funny. Hold it to the Lambos. It's me kind of running off the rails here a little bit. The one thing I bought on Ethereum during the dip looks I was buying every Cosmos dip. Yeah, I'm not even saying, steal teams. Just like, yeah, you can be cross-chain, sure. And like, quite frankly, what the NFT space has done on Solana, in my opinion, sort of outpaces the apps, like the things that they've built. Very, very impressive. Obviously, if you look at my avatar, it's a Boryoku dragon. Okay, so obviously I am like self-shilling here a bit, but the reason why I like Boryoku dragons is because it has an economy to it, right? Like the Genesis dragons generate yield. The yield can be used to create babies, which can then bring more people into the family. They bought land in the sandbox, and they did the Genesis hoodies. Like, there's a bunch of things that make a ton of sense. And I'm like, man, that shit's all Rust. Like, bring them over. Like, what's going on? Literally, it's a top 5 NFT project. Boryoku Dragons on Solana is a top 5 NFT project. People still aren't talking about it in all of NFTs. Yeah, I want to talk about BTC right now. So the nice thing about it, and I feel almost like a jackass saying this, but I haven't really given a shit about any of this. And this is like a pretty harsh move down, right? What are we, 52% from the highs? I haven't really given a shit because Cosmos and Atom have done so well. And again, if you guys pay attention, and if you're not a part of the Stack Labs chat yet, like, that's on you. You just don't like money. Because do you want to know when Highlander started shilling us on Atom? Here. That's here, folks. That's when he was like, Jared, you should get a position. And I'm like, all right. I don't know. I don't own a ledger, dude. I don't use hot wallets. And he was like, we'll fucking get one. Okay. So I don't know why you wouldn't be in the chat room yet, but that's certainly your call. Yeah. My first Atom buy was $13, $12. And then obviously it ran up here, and then it's like, well, tell me about Juno. What's going on with Juno? Like, there's so much fucking alpha. And as it comes to find out, we have both creators of Juno in the Stack Labs chat. So, and there might be more. I say I think of 2. There might be more, but obviously, Wolf and Block Creator are both in there. So, I don't know as much as maybe I should. So let's go back and talk macro for a moment. I haven't really given a shit about this because we were offset, right? Thank you, sir. A lot of the content comes from you, and I just recycle it and make it sound less Scottish, right? That's all I do. But I love the Scottish accent. So let's talk about this like realistically for a moment. That is now resistance. Okay? We broke down this level. It is now resistance. And we have not seen a productive move in a while on Bitcoin. Now, the most productive thing that we've seen is this. And by the way, this is a parallel line. Okay? This. You prick. And this. Is this line cloned over here? Look where we stopped. Look where we stopped. Oh, yeah, dude. The net airdrop site's sick. Camel, I know you do great stuff, man. I'm like, I don't really know who Camel is, but I know he's involved, and he always brings great shit. So you're the front end guy. It's amazing. Well, I enjoy the front end. But, I'm still going to give you shit about JunoSwap not having dark mode. It's not the fact that it's invalidated, John. It's that it actually held. Now, I do not put a lot of credence on that, so don't be here being like, oh, Jared called it. It's just funny that actually happened, and that's where support came in. And if you go back here, this is where I put institutional buy level. I know you were. And that's nice to see because we have now 1, 2 areas, and we're hoping 3. where institutional bids, real money comes in. We would all love to believe. By Ben, we'll get Ben in here, man. If Ben's not a part of Stack Labs yet, get him in so I can have a word with him. We would all love to believe that institutions buy up here and real money does. But the only people dumb enough to buy Bitcoin up here, okay, hold on. Let me take a time out because I'm going to catch a lot of shit. It's not that you're dumb enough to buy up there. It's like institutions will buy up there, but they'll DCA in up there. That's not where they build their positions from, guys. You have to understand how large size position building works, right? Like, all due respect, guys, I built my position on Juno down here. Okay. $7 to $10. And so I am continuing to add in Juno. I'm continuing to stake. I'm continuing to buy when it makes sense, but not nearly as much as my initial position. That's how people with large stacks roll. Right. You can't just ape in like that. Don said it perfectly. So where do these guys build positions? Well, they build positions here and they defend here. They build positions here and they defend here. Okay. And they take profits up here. That's just standard accumulation and distribution, boys and girls. That's how this shit works. I don't care who you are. I don't care who you are. So we get down here. We want to see this hold. Do I think we hold? I think we do. Okay. I think we do. That said, that's just me talking out of my ass right now. Do I have anything to say or suggest that this holds right now? No, I don't. Because the trend is the most important thing in TA, okay? The trend is the most important thing in TA. A trend, a series of higher highs and higher lows, or lower lows and lower highs, okay? We have not seen sorry. We have not seen a trend break yet. And so what I would say to you is that there is not a whole hell of a lot of reason to be super excited yet. Yes, the trend is your friend. My point in all of this is just to say, there are great things out there. Cosmos is going great. Dive into that system, learn more. What's going to happen with Bitcoin? I can't exactly tell you. But I can tell you that until you see this break, it's a dangerous proposition and you need to keep yourself agile, right? Well, what does break mean? Right now, I'm not willing to put my McDonald's hat away and say, let's rip until you see some shit like this. And this is what I mean by trend break, okay? So we had this series of lower lows and lower highs. You need to not just create a higher high, but create a higher low. And you go, well, Jared, we were just talking about Adam. Why are you talking about this with Bitcoin right now? Because there's a few reasons. First off, you should not feel like, oh my God, I'm missing Bitcoin right now. There's not shit to do in Bitcoin right now. There isn't. And you go, well, I want to check the Pico bottom. Like, what if I got this 33.2 buy? Maybe. But I'm not really interested in being this buyer because this buyer thought he was going to the moon and he's wrecked. This buyer thought he was going to the moon and now he's wrecked. You don't need to give a shit about that. Block creators in the chat just said Cosmos coins go up in price in the bull market and they go up in ranks in a bear market. Exactly right. You find the right FA. So my point is, don't feel like you're going to miss out on Bitcoin round because there's really nothing to worry about. If you want to get back in for another major macro move, this is where you buy, guys. This is how smart people buy. Now, you will see institutions in Wales and things acquiring down here, okay? And that's great. That's great. We want them to do that. We want them to build their bags. We want to catch the trend break in the first higher low after the trend break, which, by the way, when we get there, I'll tell you about how to manage your position. We're just not there yet. Okay? Essentially, you buy the higher low. When it takes out the higher high, you set your stop right here, and hopefully you get the run to 100 grand. Okay? Like, that's what you're hoping for. But until then, you don't have to fuck around with it. Guys, I'm not even leverage trading right now. And this is what I do. I'm not even leverage trading now. You know how minus EV leverage trading is right now compared to just learning shit about Cosmos and Juno and Stargaze and Evmos and all the shit that's coming out? It's such a minus EV play. You're going to take a scalp and hopefully add to your backs. I pulled my money off of Bybit. Sorry, Bybit. I pulled my money off. That's how much I don't give a shit right now. So from a macro perspective, this is what we're worried about. You look at the S&P. Like, I know, guys. I know that we would all love to think this is what happens next. And you're like, son of a bitch, the V, it happened again. We're going to all-time highs, right? No. No, Bitswine Bybit's drug. You're not wrong, bro. You're not wrong. I had to get off. I sit there thinking about doing dumb shit. In fact, the only thing I really ever trade on there is Atom, and I'm like, why am I doing that? Why am I doing that? As much as we would love to say that this is just going to reverse right the hell back up, I don't think that it will. In reality, we probably get what I think has happened. Let me start there, and then we'll talk about what happens tomorrow with the FOMC, because Haz just reminded me, right? Not that I forgot, just I haven't spoken about it yet. What this is, guys and gals, is the worst possible news being priced in. That's what's happening. The worst possible news being priced in. And so what happens tomorrow with the FOMC is probably bad news, but maybe not quite as shitty as we thought, right? Like this is how stupid markets are, guys, but maybe not as shitty as we thought. Like, it's bad, but it's not that bad. And so what you'll see is something like this. But guys, I'm here to tell you, I did this for 10 years, okay? I traded the standard market for 10 years before I got into crypto. Those are all now major areas of resistance. Major. Okay? And oh, by the way, we've been talking about this forever. Look what's trying to break out and is like near the handle. Gold is, okay? There's a bunch of shit that can happen that just won't be good for us. And so it's going to take some time to resolve. So what ends up happening with the ES? We probably get a bounce. I'm guessing it'll get sold right here. First area of resistance. And we spend a good amount of time coming right back down. So how does that equate to Bitcoin? Does anybody here really have a problem if Bitcoin does this? Because I can tell you this. For alts, and certainly the market leader in alts, that price action on Bitcoin looks like this on Atom, okay? That's right. Molesy got it right. It would be Atom season. You would see some crazy shit. Oh, by the way, there you go. So it was $95. I have it on my chart when I did this last time. Let me show you. This is how much. 70.22 is where we are right now. When I did this last time, for us to flip DOT, it was $95. That's how much DOT has taken his shit, and Atom has appreciated since we last did this little exercise, all right? So do we really care if the ES bounces up, comes back down, whatever, because this is what will end up happening with Bitcoin? We can just range from 30 to 40, 45 and let Atom season take over. I don't really give a shit, guys. That works out brilliantly for me. But you go, well, like, is this dude talking out of his ass? Does he have anything to back up what he's saying? Yeah, I do. And I'll tell you what that is right now. Okay. Look at the posture of the 50-day, the 50-day moving average right now on the S&P. That's this, the ES. It's this line. This line right here. It's just starting to roll over. Means like we haven't even gotten a declining angle yet. So I would be very shocked if that isn't rejected even in the best case scenario. Now we can all talk about what a piece of shit the dollar is, and it is, okay? When we got that first little bit of relief, when we were like, oh, maybe this is the bottom, it was because the dollar broke down. But look where it's back to again. Look where it's back to again. So in order for Bitcoin to really level up, you'll see the dollar fail. You'll probably see gold break out. And you have to see the ES find support and the NQ find support. Move sideways for a while. Remember, guys, if the dollar is being devalued, actively being devalued, it's good for commodities. Bitcoin is closely related to a commodity. We've talked about that. I gave my bull case for Bitcoin in a shit market. It still can happen. However, if the dollar is devalued, then actual valuation of companies priced in dollars should go up. It's not like Apple gets less valuable because the dollar goes down, right? Like maybe fake companies do, like fucking Peloton, because they were all funny money bullshit to begin with. However, this should work with them too. They just like, there's throw a bunch of money at a tech stock in the past 2 years and it's gone up crazy, okay? There's been no relative move into leaders. Apple will not go down because the dollar's devalued, because Apple's a worldwide company. It's the largest company in the world. I think, it might have been Tesla for a while, but Tesla's fucking stupid in terms of its price action. So you will see the NQ turn around because people will move to large cap tech, not small cap speculative bullshit. What does that mean for us? Well, there's a bit of a hedge here. And that is that the disruption in Ethereum and alts and Cosmos, I'm saying this just to say not Bitcoin, okay? Bitcoin's value proposition and Ethereum and alts are two completely different things now. If you don't get that, see a friend after class because you do not get it. Coming to Stack Labs, we'll be happy to tell you about it. But that is like, it's not the value proposition anymore. The value proposition for Ethereum, the value proposition for Cosmos, the value proposition for things that are not Bitcoin are disruption. Okay, it's disruption in traditional finance, it's disruption in art, it's disruption in gaming, it's disruption. Cosmos is doing it the best from a scalability perspective. And if you don't know why, you need to learn about the Cosmos SDK. You need to learn about what app chains are and why it's so fucking bullish. Okay. By the way, I cuss on this show. You got a problem with that? Well, sorry. It's a completely different value proposition from Bitcoin. Bitcoin is going to go up one thing. I think Ethereum's in for a tough go. I think that alts that are building are going to do great, and ones that aren't or are having other issues are going to look like this. Remember Solana? I was all about Solana. And then the chain didn't work for like several days in a row. And then people stopped putting money there because shit like the last several things that happened on Solana that were launched are like legitimately going to have lawsuits about how bad those ICOs were. And they were essentially just cash grabs for people, right? Yeah, there's a buy law $3. Sam literally was like, Solana's going through some tough times. That sucks for everybody. I still believe in the team. I haven't talked about it in a while. Just so you know, I have my standing bid open at $3. He said that as a joke because of like the little piss match he had with CoinMamba. But like, bro, you just said that like you're willing to bid at $3 and not before. Like, not so great. Not to mention, trying to pull it up. Hold on. I said this the other day and I caught some shit for it, but I don't really care. Come at me. Okay. The ICO price on Solana was 22 cents. They're currently up 44,000%. Private sale was 25 cents. There was also some additional sale, like $1 or $2. I can't remember. And you can see if you go on here and you look. Shit. Hold on. That's why I don't do stuff. There we go. Funds among backers. Okay. Funds among backers. Three Arrows, Kinetic, CMS, Alameda, Multicoin, Anderson Horowitz. Okay. Who are the backers for Atom? The foundation, right? Everything else has essentially been fair launched, right? I have no problem with that. Long time ago, a lot of this stuff is vested. And we're talking about a lot of new development on Solana. What's the new development on, a lot of new development on Cosmos. What's the new development on Solana? It's not there yet. Is it going to have a run again? Sure. But we'll take it. And oh, by the way, guys, if you remember, yeah, by the people for the people. That's right. Like, the best thing about Juno is Juno's as good as Solana, and it was fair launched, guys. Anybody could have bought it at launch if you were informed. I was not one of them. Highlight had to shield my ass into it. You remember what my target was when this rejected? Anybody? I have it on there. 0.62. And it doesn't show signs of stopping. It probably, if current trajectory holds, goes on to 0.055. That's a massive wipe, okay? We got as high as 0.088 at a 0.055. Relative to Bitcoin, that's pretty damn bad. You know, I haven't actually done this. But pretty much. So hold on to the Lambos. That's about right. Like I've joked about that, but when you get a deviation to the top side, you usually get a deviation to the bottom side. In fact, that was when I called the top on Bitcoin. It was this. I was like, you know, we kind of overshot this here. In fact, I was using this line as the channel base, okay? I was using this line. Delete that. Clone it over. And I said, this was a deviation. So we're probably going to go test the other side, which is what I thought we were going to do. Okay. I admittedly got that wrong. I fucked up. I thought this was the deviation and we'd see it move higher. Now, it's kind of hard to forecast world events and inflation and the Fed and Joey B being pretty stupid. But yeah, I'm going to go back to the Atom BTC chart right now in a second. But like essentially a deviation on one side usually leads to a deviation on the other side. And ETH BTC is sitting in that situation right now. Like, this is very clearly what happened here. That we had this resistance level. We thought this was a sustained breakout and missed it. If this is the bottom side of it, there's a decent chance you see something like that, possibly even lower, which is crazy. I mean, smart money is probably right here, but let's look at Atom BTC. Yeah. This is disgusting. I am disgusted because we are almost at the point where there's nothing overhead. It's like, this shit doesn't count, all right? These are people that bought the ICO and sold. There is essentially no overhead supply on Atom right now versus Bitcoin. Not to say that there isn't in other places, but there is not, right? There is overhead supply sitting up here right now. I'm just not really fucking worried about it. Yeah, it's the final boss for Adam. And that's why, like, I always talk about this shit, because I obviously got many things wrong recently, and I'm not going to sit here in front and say that I get everything right. I don't. But this line is the parabolic flip line, okay? This is the line that matters for people in TA. This is the line that matters. Yes, this was a joke, okay? Let me take that out of there. All right, step one, get to this line. If we were to go straight up today, there would be resistance at $54 for Adam. Like, just all of a sudden, some crazy move happens. And it goes straight up. We're going to stop at $54. I guarantee you. I guarantee you. I'm okay with that personally. Go to 54, flag. And then that's when you see a parabolic breakout. And you want to flip this to support. From a technical perspective, thank you there, Red Hot. I appreciate you saying that. I try to focus on high time frame and shit that matters, right? Like that's, you know. So for those of you wondering if we're just a bunch of Johnny-come-lately front-running a-holes, we are not. This is when Highlander shilled us. Here's us now. All right? I got no problem being like, yo, I was ready to not even look into Adam, and Highlander's compassion for what was being done got me into it. Okay? That's a big deal to me. So these resistance lines, we're going to call this a parabolic flip line moving forward. It's a parabolic flip line. Usually it caps price. It did it once, twice, 3 times, 4 times. What do they say about how many times something has to be touched before it breaks? Commonly accepted number of tests. Usually 3. Really, it's more like 5. Right? So this is not going to be just forgotten about. And if it breaks out, that's when you see shit like this. So let's let Bitcoin do whatever it is it wants to do. The only thing you should really, really care about, guys, truly, is this level. Okay? If that breaks down, we're going to have issues. In a real way. So, yeah, I know, man. I know. But the thing is, it already did, dude, and Adam, like, didn't give a shit. Yeah, this is the El Salvador, has real problems, area, right? And Sailors, I believe Sailors average price is right here too. So when you're looking at Bitcoin high time frame, that's what we care about. And I'm not going to mince words, guys. Like, yeah. If we break down from here, if we lose this $28,000 to $30,000 level, Adam will not be spared, okay? I don't care what alt it is. It won't be spared. The fact that Adam has shown as much strength as it has so far is extremely impressive. Extremely impressive. We get a breakdown of 28 to 30. Nothing will be spared. I wouldn't sell, personally. I would just continue compounding till the next move. But it is an almost certain reality, if this breaks down, that Bitcoin will go to 20,000. What do you think of Kaz's favorite FTM? First off, I reject the premise of your question because Kaz's favorite is Juno. Everybody knows this. So be careful. Be careful. Tosh Dev, Elon Musk says today when McDonald's accepts Doge, he said he'll eat a Big Mac. Yeah. Jamie, what is this? Yeah, you know what? I mean, I know, look, Phantom's doing fine, right? If you look at like relative market structure, like Atom is back up here, right? It doesn't look that dissimilar. I guess I have to add this. Or I can just clone this. Hold on. Yeah, there you go. So look at relative market structure. Atom improving, right? But pretty close. I sold my Phantom Ponzi at the Pico top, and I'm very proud of it. Good for you, dude. This is great. Look, Phantom has a lot of backers that want it to succeed. It has a lot of new money coming there. Now, correct me if I'm wrong on this. And again, you know, obviously, I'm very Cosmos biased, and I'll continue to be that way for a while. You're talking to somebody, me, who's gone to every chain and tried everything essentially once. Phantom being the one exception. I've been there, but I haven't really like messed around. I've moved real money there, you know, a couple grand, fuck around. But I was like the first to adapt to Binance when I was like, yo, Binance Smart Chain, this looks pretty sick. Which I believe is why Highlander reached out to me. He's like, did you know Binance, essentially Tendermint, same shit. Or whatever, the Cosmos SDK, and that's how he kind of shooed me into it. I was like, oh, really? Because I enjoyed Binance compared to Ethereum. That was my experience, right? Now, this is my theory right now on these chains. There's been a fucking season for everything, okay? I went to Binance Smart Chain because it was new and it was different, and I was annoyed with spending $18 on a transaction, right? And I was like, $18 for a transaction on Ethereum, that's fucking bullshit. Now you know, $250 for a transaction. The other day I spent $900 on a transaction on Ethereum. $900 on one transaction. But I had to. So, I've been on Binance. I even went to Hecko chain, guys. Hecko. Okay? Huobi's version of Binance. I had to use an OTC guy. All of the websites were in Chinese. I'll try anything once. It's like college. You know, drugs. Anyway. Yeah. Tosh Dev is beating me to the answer on your question there right now. But yeah, Evmos is what I'm most excited for a variety of reasons. Okay. So I did the let's move to Binance. I did the let's try Hecko. I'm trying to think where I went from there. Probably was Solana. Then we were trying Avalanche. Then we were trying all these other places. Look, Avalanche to me, apart from moving to Binance initially and being early on Binance, because I was in the first month on Binance, right? I was farming cake when it was pennies. And then it went to $44, right? So I was there early and it was an amazing experience. Closest thing since then has been Avalanche. And you know why Avalanche exploded? Very simple, guys. Very simple. The bridge was easy. The bridge was easy. That's the reason. The bridge was easy. Not only was the bridge easy from Ethereum into Avalanche, but they also gave you like 0.1 Avalanche. So you didn't have to get your boys to be like, yo, send me some Avalanche so I can, you know, trade some wrapped ether for Avalanche. Like, it was easy to go. It was easy to onboard. It acted just like Ethereum. Look, guys, let's be honest. All Avalanche is Ethereum. It's just Ethereum. with like better throughput. Like it's faster. That's it. And less people use it, so it's not as clogged. So I got to Avalanche, and it was the most financially rewarding early mover thing I've done to date. Even more so than Binance, because I was poor when I went to Binance. Now, yeah, the worst thing about bridging anywhere is not getting any gas. That's right, it sucks. Really, it's the biggest thing people trip up on within Cosmos now still. Thankfully, Osmo allows you to transact for free right now, but it sucks there too, okay? Like, oh shit, I forgot to leave some. Like, yo, can you chip me off a little bit more? Like Highlander, like no joke, Highlander had to send me like $2 worth of stuff. One of the first times I switched chains within Cosmos. But they got the bridging right, okay? That was it. Yes, if Evmos, if Gravity Bridge or whatever the hell it's supposed to be coming on is as easy to just bridge straight from Ethereum, it's going to be enormous. It's going to be enormous. Like, it's honestly the biggest issue with Cosmos right now is getting money on there. Like, when people come into Stack Labs and say, how do I get money into Cosmos? I'm always like, fuck, man, I've done it like 4 different ways. I sent some from Binance. I've sent from some straight from Coinbase. I've done it from KuCoin. I've bridged. All sorts of shit and ways to get there. I've used the Sift chain bridge, right? Anyway, back to my point though. You had these rotations where it was like, we went from Ethereum to Binance to Solana. We went to, Hecko because it was fucking fashionable for a moment. There was another chain that people were on for 2 seconds. You've got Phantom right now. You've got all these other things. But in my opinion, maybe I'm wrong. In my opinion, it's just liquidity chasing liquidity, right? It's like, okay, there's $150 million in incentives. Yeah, KCC, that's the one. Yeah, KuCoin chain was live for like 3 days. In fact, before I even was able to get money there, it was dead. It was like, hey, we have these little bit of incentives, which means money markets will show up, which means, Matic, which means there'll be a hot period. And it just continues to shift from one to the next. And it's just been one enormous chase game. And by the way, guys, I've been beneficial enough to be friends with a bunch of whales who tell me where they're moving so I can get there early. Most retail, your exit liquidity by the time you show up. Okay? Just calling a spade here. Build your network. You can be early too. Join the Stack Labs chat, whatever. But the reason why I'm talking about all of this and going chain to chain to chasing yield and chain to chain to chase liquidity and new things is because, in my opinion, obviously I'm fucking biased, guys, Cosmos is different. Cosmos is different. It's not the same shit, just new incentives. It's not the same shit, new day. It is trying something different. It is app chains. It's all one thing. It's layer 0 being the transfer layer of IBC, which is going to connect it to everything. It's going to bring in money. There's going to be new NFTs. Like there's so many different things that are happening. And oh, by the way, the things are fucking siloed. So even if it breaks down, like guys, Avalanche went down before the Snowball upgrade, which is when everybody really started coming in. Avalanche was down, kind of like Solana. So yeah, it's on a different level. And we just talked about, liquid staking and, DeFiing that shit up and shared staking and what Juno can do between the app chains, the level of security you have and how the SDK is already ubiquitous among developers. What was that tweet the other day? A Highlander sent it to me. Maybe somebody else did. I know I definitely tweeted it. But the stats on how many people are building in Cosmos right now, and in the video I saw earlier about, I don't remember who the hell it was, but it was the Cosmos guys all talking about it. So, like, there's so many people. It was the one that was like 495,000 developers are currently in Cosmos. Like, that's crazy. Yeah. And you know what's funny, John? I was talking shit the other day about Osmo. I'm sorry, I'll duck. I know a lot of you were in here that have a piece of that or been a part of it. But I was like, these fucking swap fees are bullshit. They're like 0.3%, 0.2% if you're not trading with the native pair, which I totally get. And then I heard the guys talk about it in terms of like, if you are an LP staker, that's where the fees come from. And I was like, all right, I guess that makes sense because I'm getting both sides of that. It is annoying when you see 0.5% in terms of fees for the people that are staking. I think there should be more clarity around that to explain why that's happening and where the yields come from on this shit. But like initially you're like, 0.5%. I know, and that's the thing. You don't really know. That's right. You don't work. Yeah, V3 Uniswap's 1%. You're right. Okay, that's what I mean. I think that what's interesting about Osmo is that they actually show you, which gives you a chance to be pissed about it. Whereas before you're like, oh, that's weird. I feel like I didn't get as much as I should have there. Well, fuck it. And you just move on. Like you just don't know. Which is pretty funny. So yeah, obviously there's a lot to be desired there. I think it's just transparency. Yeah. That 1%'s a lot, dude. I agree. I don't trade shit. Like I only trade high value blue chips on Ethereum anymore, man. It's not worth it. It is not worth it. It is not worth it. So I don't know why I've had Phantom up on the stream as much as I have, but yeah, that obviously doesn't look great. Really, the thing that, quite frankly, I'm most bearish on right now is Ethereum. The ETH BTC chart looks like a bag of dicks, pardon my language. We lost structure here. We're underneath the wedge. Like, I find it very hard to believe that Ethereum doesn't retest $1,800, 17, 18. And it's not that I'm bearish on Ethereum long term. Believe me, guys, I'm extremely bullish on Ethereum long term. Extremely bullish on Ethereum long term. Like, it's just where's the support right now? We're building support out of nothing. There is no reason for this to have stopped here. It just did because Bitcoin found support. It was not Ethereum, and the way you know that is this, okay? Like there's nothing to say that it's at support. It's just fucking hanging out there. So my point is, even if we catch a bid, like a real bid, you got resistance here, and if there's any sort of lower high and lower low, Ethereum's gonna fucking grab its ankles, man. Like it's gonna be bad. It's gonna be bad. So where are my buy levels here? $1,700, unless we see a big trend break. But like this sort of move down when you got the guys from Maker being like, yo, we might have to liquidate $1 billion because fuckers are over leveraged, doesn't make me feel good. Somebody asked about ETH 2.0. If you watched the Up Only interview the other day with Vitalik, it sounds like that's coming around the year like 3,300. So I hope we get to that, everlasting life solution soon, or else it might not happen. So Lenny says, I remember times when we were like, what the fuck, ETH's $1,000. How? Bro, my first buy of Ethereum was $80. Okay. $80. So yeah, even though it's like $2,400, goddamn, that's down a lot from $4,800. Like my first buy was 80. This is still up an absurd amount of money. But yeah, it can always go lower. By the way, just while I'm finishing my rant about side chains and how we're essentially just chasing liquidity and incentives. Yeah, Highlander, thanks, man. And Tosh, glad to have you here. Don't know who you are, but I understand you're important, so cheers. Just for what it's worth, Avalanche shockingly has performed the best from a TVL and price action perspective. So maybe Avalanche is here to stay. And I have heard rumors, I don't know if they're true, about Avalanche onboarding IBC. I would fucking love that, because by the way, the places where I have my money on the most right now, 2 places, Cosmos, Avalanche. I got like $12 left on Binance Smart Chain. I have a lot on Ethereum too, but I don't consider it like real money. And I have like nothing on Solana anymore. I bridged like my last 50 grand to Cosmos the other day from Solana because I was like, God, this thing's a piece of shit. Ugh. And it is. It's a piece of shit. It's proven otherwise. Someone said FTM TVL is pretty good. Yeah, I haven't actually looked at that recently. But I know Avalanche has done pretty well. Matic versus ETH has... So here's the thing. Matic versus ETH, this chart actually looks pretty fucking good. The problem is ETH looks like shit. So maybe like Matic versus ETH is like the I want to acquire more ETH trade right now. But I'm gonna take off my fucking perma bull just bulltard hat in a moment here on Cosmos, because I understand that some of you are gonna be like, all right, well, this is just now a Cosmos stream. But in my opinion, Jaspo, what's up, buddy? Like you just said, does anybody ever look at Ethereum's price at 1,000 and go, oh my God, I can't believe it's $1,000? I'm getting those sort of vibes on Atom. If what I described about liquid staking launches soon, and that opens up that path for whales to come in and really dig in, you're going to see just an asinine markup on Atom. That's just how this shit works, guys. When you can stack yields multiple ways, you get liquid staking, you get shared staking, you get all this shit coming on top of it. It's crazy. Should Atom airdrops just appear in my wallet? No, not always. Okay. Let me share the link that I use, although it may not even be accurate right now, because I saw the other day. In fact, one of you guys in here might even be able to tell me. I've been sharing this link, and the other day, I'm pretty sure someone said there was a better version of this, but that's what I've been using. Okay. That's the link. I'll pull it up. I don't think I'm connected, so I can do that. You can check your airdrops here. Some of them you have to claim. Some of them are airdropped, right? There might be a better way to do it now. If there is, I'm not aware of it, right? So some of them you have to go claim. Like stars you have to claim, right? And I assume the other one's going to be the same way. I remember when we had the Soul Convo when it was around $50 or $60, and you said never bet against Sam. To be fair, we were right here taking positions on a breakout, right? Like we broke this level and we were like, we should probably get long. This is going to go crazy. We went from 65 to 240, 250, 260, which is what I expect to have happen with Atom. The new airdrops for Cosmos subreddit's pretty decent. All right, good to know. I hope there's something more formal than that that exists. It's a very small thing. I hope that there's like one place where people can like put their drops. That's not Reddit. I like Reddit as much as the next person. Just, you know, I hope there's more than that. Maybe it was what I shared already. So yeah, I mean, we went from 50 to 60 to 250. But yeah, I mean, like, no shit, man. It's either $65 or it's $50. And I could see it going as low as 25 for Solana if they don't get their shit together. By the way, who turned off the fun machine for Atom? Just range bound here. Okay, tough question. What's the best possible price that I can get into Atom? Price? I don't know, Zeleny. What does this look like for you, man? What does this look like to you? Yep, it is. Been a while since I pulled that up, so. You know what? I gotta admit, I was a little bit guilty when we were here. I mean, look, we went to here, we came back down, and I was like, how are we going to make up a 63% drawdown versus Ethereum? And well, that's how. A guy just came in, Chef90 just came into the Stack Labs chat and said, do you have any suggestions for staking Atom? I picked SG1 due to the only 1% fee, but I didn't do any research as to whether they pass on airdrops or not. Appreciate any recommendations. My understanding is, look, it's better to pick a validator outside the top 10 because they want to decentralize the network. So nothing wrong with SG1. I stake with SG1 on one of the chains that I'm staking on, but I don't recall which one that it is. Yes, SG1 the best. I'm guessing Tashdev has a slight ulterior motive with answering that question. That said, I'm sure he wouldn't dissuade you from picking anybody else either. Yo, these dated monkeys. What's up, brother? Could you imagine buying Coinbase? Fuck me. Yeah, I got you. I knew what you meant. You and M Pooty, man. You and M Pooty. USDC for life. I mean, that's what they got right. Really, it might be the most bullish case for Coinbase is USDC. No shit. Because if USDC ever goes down, so does Coinbase. If Coinbase ever goes down, so does crypto. So, USDC is pretty comfy. So yeah, I would, if you're trying to get in on Atom, dude, you know, I think you want to get in before we reach price discovery. So I feel comfortable with where it is now. Just, you know, maybe keep some on the side for some volatility. Just last thing really quick, and then we can get into questions. We can get out of here because I've been doing this for an hour and a half at this point. The VIX is at like all-time highs right now, right? Short-term bullish? Yeah, we talked about Cosmos a lot. Which I think is worth rewatching for. What's my cut it level on Atom? Bro, I don't really have one. You're going to be like, really? You don't? No, I really don't. You know what you want to know my, like, no joke. I'm not even close to joking on this. Okay. I'm not even joking on this. I'm 100% serious. The only place I would even consider cutting Atom, it would be the Atom that I don't have staked. Cause like what's staked is staked, and airdrops and the growth of the market or whatever is going to continue. And it will make up for any loss over time and will eventually come back. So I'm not really worried about that. Any Atom that I have that isn't presently staked, I would sell as Bitcoin broke down. So the decision isn't even based on Atom, right? If Bitcoin holds its institutional buy levels, I'm not selling Atom. It's like period, point blank, end of story. I am not selling Atom as long as Bitcoin doesn't get past this, oh my God, we're all fucked level. And even the Atom that I would be selling wouldn't be the shit that I have staked. It would be what I have that is not staked. And once there's liquid staking, it will be staked. So, you know, that's what I would say about that. I'm making my decision based on the Bitcoin chart, not on the Atom chart. Obviously, this 200-day and the 50-day being close talks about is like conducive to explosive price discovery. The 50 and the 200, holding the 200, holding this flip level as support, very impressive, very, very impressive. So, you know, very few people bearish on Atom right now. So anyway, back to the FOMC, which is where I was going on this whole thing, because that's probably the most relevant. Last time we had a major FOMC conversation, we were live streaming it. I was actually streaming on Kaz's stream. I don't think we're going to do that again tomorrow, but here's what I want you to know into the FOMC tomorrow. Starts at 1 o'clock Central Time. I think that's when they're going to release the minutes from the meeting. I believe the Fed's meeting today. So they meet today, they meet tomorrow. They release like their notes at 1 p.m. Central. Just for those of you who aren't in America, it's currently 2:30 p.m. Central right now. Okay. So 90 minutes ago tomorrow, or for those of you who do math the right way, 22 and a half hours from now, is when you'll see the minutes released. That's going to cause some crazy ass volatility in the marketplace. Could be up, could be down. Whatever the initial move on, generally is not what happens. Like, they fuck with you. That's why they can play with volatility. You want to know the last time we had crazy volatility? It was like these days when they had their last meeting and it was like, okay, shit, whoop, and we rip right back up only to plunge further. So be careful with that. The minutes will be released at 1 o'clock Central Time. After that is the press conference with our everybody's favorite, fucking LARP, the person that we have in this little live action role play, Jerome Powell, right? So we got our minutes released at 1. Then we have the actual presser. In a lot of ways, the press conference is more important, excuse me, than, God, fuck it. There we go. Than anything else, right? There you go. This is tradingeconomics.com/calendar. If you do not have it bookmarked, you should. I just dropped it in the chat because it is legitimately the thing that I go to when I'm like, what the fuck is happening with price right now? I check this first before asking a question because it usually has something to do with this. Because as John just said, CPI data also did it when we were at the top. I just dropped the Stacked Labs Telegram invite link into the chat. If you are not in there, you should. Turns out we got the Juno creator team. We got a lot of the Cosmos team. All of them are in the chat. You should join too. It's a good time. So tomorrow, Fed interest rate decision, Fed press conference, 1 and 1:30. Thursday, GDP growth rate quarter over quarter. Yikes, that's going to suck. Previous 2.3, consensus for this one 5.5, forecast is 5.5. Yikes. Let's hope we don't fuck those up. And then Friday, personal income month over month. And personal spending month over month. Personal income and personal spending month over month. So you'll see a bit of an, quite frankly, guys, we're going to have volatility the next 3 days. Thursday, Friday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So it's probably not going to be great. I would not make a decision directionally about the market until that happens. Turn off my shit now. Okay. Any questions before I ride out? Got your trading economics calendar. You should bookmark it. You got the Stacked Labs invite because it's the OG Juno fanboy room. What's the best case and the worst case that they can say at the FOMC? Well, so they changed from we might have 2 rate hike next year to we could have 3 to we're probably looking at 4. Okay, that's what's been said. Of course, Alexon. Thank you for popping in, being a longtime supporter. Appreciate you, brother. So they've been raising the stakes for what's about to happen. My theory, and it is just a theory, is that this is pricing in the worst possible outcome. This is pricing in the worst possible outcome. The worst possible outcome is then going, hey guys, it's going to be more like 5 or 6 hikes instead of 4 or 3 or whatever the fuck they're on lately. I don't even know. I really don't care. So the worst possible outcome is them upping the ante even further, which would cause a sell-off. And you can see like my area down here, 4,000 on the ES, which is really fucking low, 400 on the SPY. That's the worst possible thing that could have happen. But the nice thing about expectations, guys, like have you ever listened to an earnings call? Because I have, right? Like I traded equities for a decade before I got into crypto. And when I was like younger, I would tune in to earnings calls. And listen, like I remember ACIA, Acacia was like, I made a ton of money on ACIA. And I was like, had a huge position. I bought it like $8. It went to like 100. And I remember tuning into their earnings call. And when you're in a growth mode, they don't really put as much onus on you as it does like earnings. Like you're not really expected to make money early on. You're just expected to show growth in terms of like, you know, customer base or, you know, utilization or whatever, and then give forward guidance, right? Forward guidance ends up being more of the thing that impacts price than actual results. Like Netflix is a great example of that. Netflix the other day sold off down, what, like 25%? Netflix actually exceeded their subscriber numbers, I think, or they were really close. That's not the reason why it gapped down 30%. The reason why it gapped down 30% was they were like, yo, man, it looks pretty fucking bad right now. We're losing market share to Disney. We're losing market share to X, Y, and Z. And they're like, fuck. So, you know, explosive growth mode is over. We're going to get out. You go, well, Jared, why does that matter? Why are you telling me that story? Because the other side of that equation is that when you tune into like Boeing's earnings call. Remember the 747 Max or 787 Max or whatever the fuck it was called? The one that was crashed all over the world? I remember sitting on those earning calls too and being like, these fucking guys, they don't know what they're doing. Like they have no idea when they're going to be able to put planes out again, because at that point the FAA was determining what was going to happen for Boeing. Well, I got news for you guys. These earning calls down here were still really shitty. Okay, here's the diamond top we talked about before. Went from 350 down to 75 bucks or 85 bucks or whatever it is. These earning calls, look how fucking terrible they were. Okay. But they weren't as bad as people were expecting. And so look what happened to price. You bought the fucking blood at 85. It went to 278. You almost got a fucking 3x, right? You go, well, Jared, why is that relevant to the question of what's going to happen tomorrow with the FOMC? Well, it's been pretty fucking bad. So even just the bad news not getting exponentially worse, it's all about a matter of perspective. If it's just slightly less shitty than we thought, then number go up. If it's worse than we thought, but we've actually impacted the inflation rate because inflation is down, that's pretty good. Number go up, right? It's all a matter of mindset, guys. So only here at Stacked Labs, twitchtv.stackedlabs, can you take a question like what's the best and the worst case scenario at the FOMC tomorrow and turn that shit into a 10-minute answer. But I'm telling you, I can do it. Anyway, that's why it's really hard to predict the FOMC. It's all about sentiment. It's all about what they say. Is it what they were expecting? Is it worse than what they were expecting? Is it not as bad? Is it actually good? Is there some sort of narrative that we can carry on this? And that's going to change the outcome. I'm not willing to speculate on it. I've gambled over earnings calls before and gotten absolutely fucking destroyed. I've gambled over earnings calls in the past and made a lot of money, right? Can you repeat the entire answer? I didn't hear it. All right. Well done. Well done. So yeah, keep an eye out on what happens tomorrow. We just don't know, but 1 p.m. Central Time, 1:30, come to Stacked Labs. Maybe we'll stream. Any other 30-second questions that I can turn into 10-minute answers before I go? No? All right, sweet. What's funny is when I do my outro, I always get questions at the very end. So that's what I'm going to do right now. Here's the outro. 1 minute and then I'm signing off. Last questions. Get it in. Will you rap for us sometime? Somebody said that in the intro the other day with Kaz and Dale that it sounded like I was about to rap. I've never rapped before. Willing to give it a try. I follow a guy on TikTok that breaks down like rap beats. Very impressive. Pretty wild. Thank you, N7. Adastra, go blue. Thank you all the new people for joining in. Don't forget to join the Stack Labs chat. Got 15 seconds left. Go blue, as always. Thank you, M Pooty. Empty 8. Appreciate you. M Pooty. And the sedated monkey. These dated monkeys.